Hi, Telios here. This will be the Phase 1 North Geo mission, and these are the mods I'm using for the team. This would be Geo Brood Alpha. This would be Geo Soldier. This will be Geo Spy. This will be Poggle. And these are the mods for SunFac. Okay, first couple things to note is that there's one sharpshooter. He's pretty much the only thing that I worry about when I'm looking at a clone team like this. When there's no Sarge, you really want to take out the sharpshooter to stop him from defense debuffing and exposing. So the first thing that I'm going to do is basically just take him out. Because he's so close, I'm actually going to follow this directly with an attack on Medic, because that's pretty much going to kill him. Anytime that Geo Soldier goes, I basically almost always call Geo Spy to bring in the damage. In an early phase like this, you don't really have to worry about too much if you have a solid Geo team. At this point, none of these really matter too much. Jedi Guardian has an AoE, so I'm actually just going to pull the full team to ability block. And now that he can't AoE, I'm actually going to focus down the other captains. I think that these guys can apply... I think they can apply a dot or an expose on their basic. Yeah, they can apply a dot, so that's not something I particularly want to deal with in an early phase, even though they won't do enough damage to actually cause any of my Geos to take damage. I just like to be cognizant as I'm going through the battle of kind of what's what. On this particular one, none of these guys are scary at all, so basically you can start with the medic and then work your way across. As far as I can tell, the Jedi Consular is like terrible, so you never have to worry about it. And then again, Jedi Guardian has an AoE. I just generally don't like my team being AoE'd, so now that I have ability block on the Trooper Medic, I'm actually gonna see if I can take out the Guardian, or at least ability block him so he can't do anything. I am gonna go ahead and use a special there, and then we'll take him out. Even if the medic gets healed, that should all get cleansed off, and he has ability block, so we're gold here. Even if the medic got healed by the Jedi Consular, it doesn't matter at all. Jedi Consular in this is just a really, really bad character, so you can leave him for last, you can take him out, it doesn't really matter. You notice that I've kind of locked down all the characters. They haven't really been able to do very much so far, but we haven't really encountered any elites either, so I'm just kind of talking you through kind of what I'm seeing and what I'm logicking out as I'm going through. So we've got a couple guys here, but none of them are elites, so a couple things. You have fives. You can basically leave him for last. He acts as a tank. You have Clone Sarge, who is always priority number one. The only time that Clone Sarge won't be a priority number one is if there are two sharpshooters. If there are two sharpshooters, they can defense debuff you and then triple expose you back to back, and that can really wreck your day. So in this case, because there's only one, it's going to be Clone Sarge for me. We're going to want to take him out first and or ability block him so that he can't AoE. But there we go. He is dead. The next thing that I want to worry about is the Sentinel. I'm pretty sure the Sentinel also has an AoE. I think yeah. So he does stealth, and it doesn't look like I got any kind of cleanse on that, so I'm just going to kind of have to let him be for the moment. Because Clone Sharpshooter has an ability block, I'm actually going to use Geo Spy special on this Clone Trooper. And you notice I just did like almost all of that in one attack, so that just kind of was a better use of of the damage from the team on that particular one. Now we're going to deal with 5s, which is basically just kind of wrecking him. Again, not elites, so we don't really have to worry too much about him doing anything in particular. And then as I get closer to the end of the battle here, I'm basically just going to start using basics so that my specials are on cooldown for the last wave, or my specials are up for the last wave. Okay, we have a couple things here. Kit Fisto is super scary. His AoE is like ridiculous. It deals a ton of damage. So if we can get an ability block on him, that's definitely really important. We have a Clone Sarge, and he's got this entrenched buff, which is really not fun to deal with at all. And then we have an elite ARC Trooper. So the elite part of the ARC Trooper isn't such a big deal, but his entrench is a big deal. Unfortunately, if this guy is elite and entrenched, you can't attack him first. You just can't do it. You'll never get past. You will never get past him. And we also have a sharpshooter that's entrenched. So a lot of people are like, "Oh, I'm going to go for the medic first," but I am not going to do that. The first thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to go for Kit Fisto. Now we have an ability block on him, so we're going to immediately hard switch over to Clone Sergeant. So what you want to do is disable the ability for them to do AoE on you. Because if you don't disable their ability to do AoE, then they're going to do a crap ton of damage to you really fast. I am in trouble because... Yeah, I am in trouble because he got entrenched and I ended up not being able, or for him not staying ability blocked. That's really, really bad. I am probably about to be in a lot of trouble here. Yep. So I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly what I'm supposed to do in a situation like that. I mean, basically, I went for the damage, couldn't burst the damage down, and now the fight is basically over. So I'm not sure. I don't know what you do. Yeah. So we'll watch this play out, but I'm not sure how I could have played that better. Like, you have to take out Clone Sarge, and you're going to have to take out Kit Fisto, or they just AoE you down. So I got 3 out of 4. I don't know how I play that better. Attacking sharpshooter or medic, in fact, attacking anyone else wouldn't have done anything for me at all. So yeah, so that's 3 out of 4. That's almost max mods and full G13 Geo team.